Hi guys, this is Jiggie, who forgot his glasses, that's why you can't see. A portrait photographer from the Philippines, and welcome to my channel. This channel is basically about my photography life. I share here tips and tricks and sometimes a few gear reviews. In this particular episode, I am talking about 10 essential in-camera settings that I put in, then forget afterwards. In case you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, a simple like here, a simple subscription, click the notification button will be appreciated a lot. And if you could follow me on Instagram too, it's at Jiggie Alejandrino. Thank you very much. All right, so let's get down to business. As I said, this is something that I set with all my new cameras. That's why I write them down and I completely forgot about them already. Just to give you a premise, I shoot with an A7R Mark III. This series, all these tips will work with all the A7 series, from the A7 III, A7S, so long as your firmware is updated, because the menu systems might change. But basically, it's there. You just have to look for it. The first one that I do straight out of the box is change my camera, the time of the camera. Of course, you set the time and date. But I set my time specifically to just one item, maybe your phone or something that you can trust, your computer. The first two, time and file name, you could actually find that in menu 5, submenu 7. Just to make sure that all your cameras are all in the same time. Because the problem there would be if you have multiple cameras shooting at the same time and all the time settings are different, or all the timestamps, the moment you put it inside your computer and you sort everything by time created or date created, it's just going to go out of whack, and you want that flow to be there all the time. Sometimes we even go to the extreme that when we're shooting a wedding or before wedding season starts, I actually get all my cameras down here, put it in this table, set the time again individually just to make sure that it's all set. Okay, so that's the first one. The second setting is I always make sure that the file name is set. This is not to set my name or to put my name there. It's basically to make sure that every single camera has its own identity, so that when we put it in the computer, it's got its own identity too. So even if two photographers are shooting the bride, let's say, and you put it in a folder, let's say bride preps, you don't have two files of the same name. And it's also nice to know, let's say I would know that this photographer shot this just because of the file name itself. Okay? The third one is file format. File format is RAW or JPEG. There's always going to be a constant debate on whether or not you should be shooting in JPEG for weddings or RAW for weddings. That is actually another video by itself. But just to tell you now, I shoot RAW plus JPEG. My JPEG is set at medium JPEG, 18 megapixel, extra fine. This one, the file format, you can find it in menu 1, submenu 1. After I've set my file format, I set now the color space. Again, it's going to be a question between Adobe RGB and sRGB. A lot of people like shooting in sRGB because it's good for web upload immediately. Fine. If you want to shoot it that way, fine. Or if you want to set it that way, it's okay. Because Adobe RGB gives you a bigger color gamut, and I can always convert it to sRGB afterwards. I can just make it into an action set anyway when I do my for optimized for web upload action set. So I would want that color spectrum available for me every time. And when we do large format prints, it's still best to print with Adobe RGB. The next one, you can find that in menu 1, submenu 2. Now, the fifth setting that I do, the fifth and sixth, which is actually something very, very essential, is your AF Illuminator and your audio on. The AF Illuminator is that light that's in front of your camera, this one, that lights up just so that it can help you reach your focus. The thing is, it's actually very annoying, especially if you're shooting someone, there's just this streak of light or this burst of light that hits them in the eye. It looks very, very unprofessional and annoying. It really is. You can find that in menu 1, submenu 6. The next one, audio signals. With your audio signals, it is that beep that you can hear the moment your camera hits its focus. Imagine you shooting a wedding in a very solemn place, and all you hear is beep, 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 everybody hitting their focus, right? You could see it anyway. The square turns green when you've hit your focus, so just turn that off. So that's the 6th setting that I put. Now, the 7th one, ISO. With my ISO, I actually shoot in auto ISO most of the time. Again, that's going to be a different video on how I shoot, because I shoot in aperture priority and auto ISO, and you'll be surprised on the wonders that can do. But you still have to have a level of control with your ISO, even if it's in auto. Sony gives that to us by allowing us to set the minimum and maximum ISO that it will do for auto ISO. So all you have to do is go to menu 2, submenu 9, and put your ISO on auto. Then automatically you would see 2 numbers right below it on the left and the right. The one on the left will actually tell you your lowest ISO. The one on your right will be the highest ISO. I set mine at 12,800 because I know for a fact that these cameras at 12,800 is absolutely clean and usable. Next, exposure compensation. As I said, I shoot in aperture priority, so I live and die by this exposure compensation dial. But I am also a flash photographer. I love using flash. So my exposure compensation out of the box is set to affect both exposure compensation, exposure of ambient, and flash. For us flash photographers, we have to remove that effect on flash. So I just set it on ambient. So you can find that in menu 1, submenu 11. You'd see it there. It's when you see exposure compensation, ambient plus flash, click on it, just click ambient and you're set. And in that same menu system, you could actually set now your wireless flash. If you plan to use the original Sony transmitter and those original Sony flashes, you have to set your flash, the wireless transmitter, to be on. It says there, wireless flash on menu 1, submenu 11. Then now, last but not the least, is the secret of the Sony cameras when it comes to shooting amazing JPEGs. It's called DRO. DRO is the dynamic range optimizer. Basically, it clips your highlights, brings up your shadows, gives you a more even distribution of light, especially in tricky lighting situations. Here's the thing. There are multiple levels of DRO, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you put it in 5, it's very HDR-ish already. And through experience, I believe that level 2 is the safest side, just to be able to get back some of the highlights and bring out the shadows. So there you go. That's basically 10 of my essential camera settings that I put in, then I forget about it afterwards. So again, guys, thank you very much. And please don't forget to subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Till the next video. Good?
Okay.
How difficult is it to make a vlog? Part 1. So now let's start. Hi guys, Jiggie here and welcome to my vlog. Ganun ba yun?
3, 2, 1.
Ayan, basura.
May okay.
So bear with me, sometimes it's all about nonsense, but it's supposed to be all about photography.
Hi guys, this is Jiggie. Welcome to the channel. This channel is all about photography and it's all about... Forget it. I have to write it down. Yeah, I need to breathe. Is it recording? This channel is all about my photography life, or I could say my photography life. It's so difficult. How difficult is it to do a YouTube video? In this channel, I tend to share. Should I say tend or I just share, no? One more time. Hi guys. Pang siguro 30th cut na namin to. Look at this, gold. Yay! Yung gano'n, diba? Yes!